smoke on here too?
You can do what you want.
But I just wanted to be appropriate.
Shout out to the real. Shout out to the fake. Shout out to that nosy chick. You better stay in your place. Get in line, punk. We got Sara Savage. What's happening, baby girl?
Hey, what's poppin'?
So you from Atlanta? You're on the West Coast. Where did you grow up in Atlanta?
I was born and raised in Atlanta. Hold on one second. Let me close the door real quick. Good to go. So I was actually born and raised in Atlanta. It's on my birth certificate. Not no city or suburb outside of Atlanta. Atlanta. It's on my birth certificate. But yeah, I'm in LA. But I've always felt like I wanted to be in LA since my first trip there when I was like 6 years old. I didn't want to leave. As a matter of fact, when I went back to school, I told my teacher that was my last day of school because my family was moving to LA. So when my mom came to get me from school, the school had my the paperwork where you unregistered from school to move schools. They had it ready up at the front because they really thought that I was moving to LA. But it was cap. I was just like projecting. But I mean, we manifested it because my father ended up getting a job at the CNN Center right on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. So I got to move out here as a teenager. Been here ever since, but we've always kept a home in Georgia. So never too far away from, my nation.
So how old was you when you moved out there? You were still in high school?
Yeah, I was still in high school. I was about 16.
So you right there on Sunset Boulevard, man. Any important people you run into?
Yeah, I mean, well, now it's been my time past, but like I don't live in Hollywood anymore. I live like Calabasas, like the Valley, which is a little ways away. But believe it or not, back then, no, it wasn't as seen as it is now. And mind you, like this is maybe 10, 12 years ago before everybody, the boom of people like coming to LA like really started, you know what I mean? So I mean, I would actually, it's funny you say that because I would actually like walk around like Hollywood Boulevard and shit, like looking for people. And but very quickly as a pretty girl, you get kind of into the nightlife lifestyle. So that definitely happened, which is honestly, I feel like it's kind of what connected me to do what I do today. So I mean, it's all connected.
So how is the nightlife out there? What's some great parties and experiences you had in the nightlife?
How is the nightlife now, or how was the nightlife like?
Oh, everything good. Everything good.
Honestly, I heard that it was the best when I was too young to be in the nightlife, but I came a little after that, like the Paris Hilton, Britney Spears days when they was, getting caught out with their pussy and shit like that, paparazzi. But I came to LA a little bit after that time, but it was popping. Like, coming from Atlanta, like, it's like you experience, like, we don't have hills, we have the mountains, but it ain't the mountains like that you have in Cali. So like when you go to a party in the hills for the first time at like an A-list actor's house and you're like 18, it's a different type of an experience. So I'm really grateful to have been able to have those types of experiences. But because of all the crime that's been going on lately, like nobody really does that shit no more. Like we do it, but it's really on the low. It used to be big, like Great Gatsby type of parties that would just sometimes go on for 2 days at a time,
What you was doing?
The best everything you could think of,
Yeah, what you was thinking, what you was doing out there? What was the wildest experience you ever had out there at one of these wild parties?
I mean, you want me to pick out of like so
Tell
many.
us something good.
I feel like wild is subjective. I mean, I'll definitely say that because I lived in Miami too, so I got to be able to experience wild times in a few different places. But I will say, Los Angeles definitely set the tone for like preferential like lifestyle, how I like to live. Like, I wouldn't sound bougie because like I'll always be like that girl from Thomasville Heights, but you get, like I said, you get accustomed to things, you experience things, and then you're like, okay, I'm not accepting anything less than this. You know what I mean? So I mean, get into it. I mean, I definitely experimented a lot, but I think that's, if you're gonna experiment as a young, attractive female, I feel like LA is probably the best city to do it in. If you're being safe about it, that is. You could end up as a horror story real quick. But even back then, I was not doing music. I was chilling. Like, I was just.
So when did you start doing music?
Okay, so I feel like I've kind of been like being prepared to be an entertainer since I was maybe a year and a half years old. Like, my parents were teaching me like Shakespeare and things like that, having me learn certain classical jazz songs, Sarah Vaughan repertoire, things like that, because both of my parents are in the entertainment industry. So I kind of grew up in it in a sense. Not exactly what I do, but my dad's in media. My mom, she was an entertainer herself, but different genre of music, different time. But I feel like because I guess my parents kind of manifested me for it, so I can't ever remember a time not doing it. Now, professionally, or should I say seriously, 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. I mean, I played around with it. Like, I put out a couple videos like maybe 4 years ago. Like I said, I've put out music, like projects, at least maybe once a year. I definitely wouldn't call them albums. I'm a mixtape baby, but I guess they don't do that anymore. So I like to consider them more like mixtapes, but whatever you can call it, I don't care. But I put out projects, and like I said, I was trying to find my sound, and I was kind of really trying to make sure that this was something I really, 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 really wanted to do, because at the same time I have so much fun doing it. Like, it's literally so I do even the ugly parts. I'm real grateful.
Mm-hmm. So as far as you said your sound, so what sound did you gravitate to? I looked through your music, you in the strip club a lot. You know what I'm saying? You talk about the strip club, love in the strip club. I like your voice. I love when you sing. I think that's what I heard first. That shit is beautiful when you sing. I love that shit. I gotta tell you that. So what do you put yourself? What category you put yourself in?
Ooh, okay. Categorically, and this is also too why I feel like I never really pushed myself out there mainstream the way that everyone says I should have and could have, whatever. I've like really taken my time to hone in on the shit. But like, I don't know. That's the thing. And also, like, as much as I have love for like the female movement that's going on right now, I wouldn't call it a takeover, because if you technically look at the charts, the men are still like running. But I like the fact that women are finally fucking getting heard and seen and appreciated for our love for and our passion for the same shit too. But like, I don't compare myself to any other female artist. I think I have a little bit more of a masculine value, and I had my it's like this Asian chart that does your yin and yang, and I'm like 70% more masculine energy. I don't remember if that's the yin or the yang. So I know, right? It's weird. So I kind of like identify more with the men. Like, I appreciate the women for what they're doing for like me and other artists like me, because they're kicking down doors and they're taking a lot of shit. And that shit's not easy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so grateful, but like, I wouldn't really categorize myself in like female rap or female hip hop. I mean, initially, I was kind of on some emo shit. Like, if you ever, I know, right? Like, I guess R&B emo, more so. Like, when I first like got in the studio and like was kind of expressing myself, because that was the reason for doing it in the first place, because I needed a way to pop my shit. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still kind of figuring out my genre. If you were to just ask somebody, they would probably just say like female hip hop / R&B. I mean, I don't know. I literally do both equally. So that's why it's hard. I don't know.
So what are you listening to right now then? Let's try it that way.
What am I listening to right now? Or like, who do I like go to if it's like that?
Yeah. Who do you go to?
Okay. So like my favorite, I feel like my favorite artist, if we're going like artist, and this isn't like rap, or this is just like artist, is The Weeknd.
I love The Weeknd, my favorite artist.
Yeah, I feel like and the thing is like, I know Abel, like from The Appointment, a song he released maybe 15 years ago. So that too, I know, you know, like not personally, but as far as being a fan and like following that music, yeah, when him and homie was sleeping in the Trans Am or whatever the car was, that, yeah, those days. So artist, him, because I feel like I relate to him as far as kind of how he moves. I like he has a lot of personality and a lot to say, but he doesn't necessarily have to scream to be heard. And like, that's like my vibe. Like, I'm not like a combative person. I'm like really all about peace, and like I just want shit to be like chilling. Like, if everybody around me cool, I'm cool. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I relate to The Weeknd the most. But very close second, Drake. I feel like Drake, because there's no one that's that fucking consistent. I mean, Chris Brown. Chris Brown's another one of my favorite artists. I'm into consistency. Like, no matter how much like hype a song or an album may have, or how much hatred or love, it's the fact that like you're doing it, and I can tell you're doing it not because you're expecting like, you know, the pub or the check or whatever, or whatever to come from it, but like, because you actually really like to hop in the fucking on the mic and pop your shit. So like, I can feel that energy, and that's who I feel like I relate to. So those are two people I go to for inspiration. My favorite female artist is Beyonce. Hands down, always will be. I feel like I relate to her more so in the sense of like, I've been dancing since I was 3 years old, like jazz, tap, ballet, African, hip hop, like modern, all that shit. So Beyonce, because when I need that, like when I'm tired and I need that extra, like, nah, I gotta rehearse, I think about the fact that she goes into her hotel hall rooms, like the foyers of like the hotel she stays in, and she hits her shit in her head over and over until she, you know what I'm saying? Like, she don't gotta be in a sound stage to rehearse. She don't gotta be in a dance studio to rehearse. You know what I mean? So, and again, like I said, consistency. And like I said, with The Weeknd, I love the way she moves, very similar to how I move. You don't gotta scream to be heard. So
shout out to the real. So growing up in Atlanta, and I also wanted, because we got cut off, we was talking about your upcoming projects and, you know, what's next. But growing up in Atlanta, how did you grow up? How was school? What was you doing out there? You was getting in any mischief?
oh man, nah, it's cool. Okay, well, it's some shit I never talked about before, but here it goes, you know, why not? Well, it was different, all right? So I'm biracial. My mom is of African descent. My father is of Northern European descent. So two totally different families, two totally different styles, two totally different Thanksgivings. You catch the drift.
Right.
My parents were married. It didn't work out with, you know, most things like marriage these days. Real difficult custody battle. I think that kind of had a lot of effect on where I pull from when I write music, because I've never even like been in love, but I write a lot of love songs. Yeah.
Love in the club.
Yeah. I'll get to the strip club stuff later, because all this will parlay into it. You'll understand. But so I'll put it like this. My dad, when I was with my dad lives in a country club. He lives in like a really nice place. I grew up like the first beginnings on the west side of Atlanta. So like I don't know if for those who are unfamiliar with Atlanta, it's the south side, the west side, the east side, and the north side. So I spent like my earlier childhood, elementary school days on the west side, right? So like Weston Mall, Oakland City MARTA Station, shout out Thomasville Heights. It's not there no more, but that was part of the Four Seasons. Hey. And then, you know, usually when you get a little bit of money, you start to move kind of either like further west, or you move kind of like east if you're not going to be like in the city, which is like Buckhead, Atlanta, Midtown, blah, blah, blah. So we moved to the east side, like Wesley Chapel, Flash Shows, Candler Road, 20 East, basically just that whole way straight, and then ends up turning into Stone Mountain. So I spent like ages 13 up until we moved to Cali on the east side. But the east side was known for being a little rough. So like the cool thing is like you could, if you could change schools and go to a school in better districts. So the north side was known to have like better schools, better academics, better sports. So we lived on the east side, but I would go to school on the north side. Shout out north side, shout out Gwinnett County. But honestly, I ended up getting kicked out of the schools in Gwinnett County. So had to took my ass back to the, you know, east side anyways. But
why'd you get kicked out?
Stupid shit. I mean, I feel like,
talk about it.
I don't know. It'd be dumb shit. It's like once you get a certain amount of referrals, or once you get a certain amount of times like that you got to go to the principal's office, they be like, okay, you not in our district, no way, you got to go back to the hood school that you're supposed to go to. So like I said, when it was with my dad, she was cool, but it was with my mom, it was more on some, you know, living in the projects, you know, bounce around a little here and there. But when we did move to the east side, my mom had got a house and stuff like that. So you know how that shit go. Parents not perfect. Especially single moms getting shit together. You gotta, and shout out to my mom because she did that shit. But anyways. So but the thing about it was in the custody battle between my mom and my dad won. So technically my dad had custody of me, but like I prefer spending time with my mom's family. So I used to do real bad shit at school. And this era is this is like before going to the east side and going to school in Gwinnett County. That was like high school days. But like in middle school, I basically, when I was living with my father, which was kind of probably the last straw from my white daddy, I love him though. I went to jail for attempted murder.
Me too.
So in the 7th grade, I got locked up for attempted murder. That's when shit kind of, I guess, changed. My first epiphany, I guess, too, that first time you go to jail. And it wasn't the last time I went to jail either. It was kind of a spiral effect. But like I said, when I go back, because I'm super analytical and I'm very into psychology, when I go back and I reflect, it's literally me lashing out. But I'm grateful for all of those experiences, every single one of them, being in the halfway house, going to different like they sent me to one alternative school, said I was too bad for that alternative school, so then they put me in another alternative. Like I'm grateful for every single one of those experiences because I don't get in no more shit no more. But I pull so much creatively from all of that shit that happened. So
shout out to the real.
Yeah, for real. But I learned my lessons, and I feel like, everybody's path is different. Some people's path is to go to jail. Some people will never go to fucking jail in their life. But when you go through these lessons, it's either like you get your lesson, learn from it, you take what you need, and you progress, and you develop and you grow, or you don't get it, and you go through that same lesson again in a different way. So
well said.
I've tried for the most part. Oh yeah. They wanted to mention, I was acquitted, by the way, for the attempted murder, but
yeah, I want to know, how did you get charged with attempted murder?
Okay, initially it was 48, and then it got dropped down to 12. And then eventually I beat the case. Yeah, I was acquitted.
Yeah, but what did they say you did?
Try to kill people at my school.
With what? I'll tell you about mine. I shot somebody before. So what about you?
I didn't pop nobody. Nah. Okay, so it was some shit that just went real wrong, and they already didn't like me anyways. So I basically brought some stuff to school that I shouldn't have brought to school, and even getting an attempted murder charge was crazy. That's real crazy. The charge I should have got was like this. It should have been like some disturbing the peace or endangerment. So it shouldn't have been attempted murder. But they was gonna make an example out of me. And plus, she was on Good Morning America. I'm like the number 2 story at CNN, which my dad was working at. So my dad's going on Good Morning America on my behalf while I'm locked the fuck up. They said no bond at first, So, I mean, it was what it was. And then on top of that, I still had to go to the halfway house. So, but like I said, I'm grateful for all those experiences. I met some interesting people and I learned a lot, like I said. So, yeah.
So, so that's a cool story. So you've been through some things. So you really are bougie and ratchet.
I would say I'm bourgeoisie. Like I feel like I got preferences. I feel like I'm actually more like I feel like I'm classy.
Classy.
I feel like I feel like I can do alchemy. I know how to act accordingly
when it's time,
depending on who's around, what's going on, and where it's happening, you know? But that's the cool thing about music though, because it's like I can show so many sides and, you know, it's, yeah.
Yeah, because I know you had a song called Bougie and Ratchet. So
yeah, Pretty and Ratchet.
Oh, Pretty and Ratchet, my bad.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no, I'm not bougie. I'm not bougie. Cause see, I do some hood, like, listen, I'm down for some hood shit real quick. Preferably, honestly, especially if the good, of course, good hood shit, not the bad hood shit, but preferably I'm on some hood shit. You know what I mean? But yeah. But nah, so to answer your question about the whole why I show so much love to the strip club was because like y'all know, I'm from Atlanta, and strip club capital of the world. It's part of the culture. If you're a pretty girl in Atlanta, you're either going to go to college to be a teacher or a nurse, or you're gonna dance. So I chose to dance.
Oh, so you was a dancer before?
I was a dancer, and I actually started, and you know what's crazy is I used to tell people like in intimate situations, I would tell them the story that I started dancing like underage, and you'd be surprised how many other people say the same thing. Like I heard, like I started dancing at 16 because I had fake ID, okay, but I my girls dancing at like 14, 15, like coming from other countries and stuff, dance like 14, 15. I was like, oh shit. But it wasn't on no like trafficking. It wasn't on no like I had a nigga, he was like, oh, I wanted some money. Like I liked the mall. Like I was going to the mall. I was looking at the fucking windows, and I'm like, because at the time I worked at a hair salon. I was learning I was being an apprentice. And I'm like, I want this shit. And this shit costs 3 of my checks being an apprentice at the hair salon. And at the time, Players Club was like that movie. I swore I was dying. I was like, temperatures rising. I was like, oh, I can do that. Like, what? 16-year-old me was like, I can do that. So but I made a song about it. That's what East Atlanta is about. It's about how I found a fake ID, went to the strip club, got it popping. I honestly didn't even have I didn't know what to expect. And by the way, I went by my fucking self. Like usually the first time you dance, like you go with like a group of homegirls. I went by the fuck myself. I pulled the fuck up, me and my fake ID. I had on this little white dress, and I was like, all right, yeah, I really want to work here. I have a little experience. They were like, yep, hire, boom. You want to start today? Sure do. Started that day. I had no gauge of how much I was going to make. I ended up making a little over $1,000. And I was like, oh, fuck. I made $600 every 2 weeks at the hair salon as an apprentice. So you already know what time it was.
I know exactly what time it was. You was popping that pussy. So what's the craziest thing you've been through at the strip club? What's the wildest shit you see?
What have I seen at the strip club? I mean, the cool thing about Atlanta is like, it's not so seedy as like some other cities. Like I didn't been in I didn't travel other places and been in other cities and been bored and went and go to the strip club and shit was nasty. You see some wild shit, like you'll look over. on the corner. Somebody got their dick out or some shit like that. Atlanta, they don't really do shit like that. I mean, I seen the nigga like get popped in the club before. I mean, that's probably the craziest shit, you know what I'm saying? That's probably the craziest shit. Seeing a nigga get clapped in the club. But I mean, bitches fighting all day, every day. But I mean, that shit is all over YouTube. I mean, that's like you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Those get popping. But
you ever sold some coochie in a strip club?
I mean, Atlanta is fully nude.
Yeah, I'm saying, somebody ever gave you some money? Like, yo, let me hit that.
Oh, fuck no! I thought you said showed. I'm crying. No. Oh no. No. So, and that's the thing too. So I was a feature. My picture was on the wall. Like, you know what I mean? It's different. I would come to work and this. Oh, by the time this is, I'm like 18, so I'm grown as fuck. And the first strip club I started, I was like a small ass little country ass shit. I knew they wasn't gonna be like on my like body like too crazy. But by the time I was like 18, I was that bitch, like popping. Like this was when Twitter was like that shit too. So like I was basically the face of the club. Like they made me like their Twitter head. When you walk in, my picture was in there. Shout out to fucking Follies, rest in peace. They closed. Right there on Beaufort Highway, next to the Mexican mall. But yeah, now like I used to get that shit popping, but I was never that girl. They have those girls there now. They do. They did, but yeah, nah.
What was your stripper name?
It's levels to this shit.
What's your stripper name?
Okay. So when I first started, I couldn't think of one. So the house mom was like, "Oh, you remind me of Kim Kardashian, so you should be Kim." So like, okay, cool. So my first stripper name was Kim, but when I actually got popping and was like a popular stripper in Atlanta, I was Sarah. Like the fuck, because I'm gonna be me. I don't the fuck. Like I would come to work and it would be a line of people are like waiting. You know what I mean? Like I'd have like 3 or 4 customers like already and sitting in their little, you know, shit, whatever like that, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's how it was. So then a little after that, I was like, shit, this shit gets too hot. They was like, do you know what you would do in Miami? I was like, what's Miami? Now, of course I knew what Miami was. And I'm like what's going on? Like, what are we on? They're like, go to Miami. Go to King of fucking Diamonds. I was like, okay, so my crazy ass, me and this crazy ass bitch that I ended up another story about me going to jail. And this time Broward, this time in Broward County. Woohoo! Don't ever fucking go to Broward County. But shout out to my Haitian cousins out there because I was able to get up out that motherfucker quick. But if you don't got the hookup, you're not getting out of Broward. But anyways, my crazy ass fucking rented a car, popped a bean, drove it from Atlanta to Miami. It usually take 10 to 12 hours to drive. We got there in 8. Like I said, I popped a bean. We ain't stopped. Yeah, period. Got there. I was tired as fuck. So pulled up. One of my friends was staying at because Sean Kingston had like a big ass house, nice studio in the house and all that. My friend was like, and this is still before I was ever doing music, was like, yeah, come, because we couldn't check into our hotel because we got there like 4 a.m. Like, yeah, come to the night, blah blah blah, whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So I fucking popped a Xan to go to sleep or whatever. So I wake up, the girl that I had came with, mind you, I rented the car, drove there, all that. She's like, yo, I don't feel comfortable here. I'm like, nah, these is my niggas from Atlanta. Like I actually known most of these guys since I was like 12 or 13. You're good. You're in my room. Like they gave us the whole room. It's a lock on the door, relax, take your ass to sleep. And I'm like, you know, because I told you I popped a Xan. I'm trying to go to sleep. I just fucking drove all the way there. So she was like, no, I'm leaving. I'm taking the car. So she grabbed the keys, long story short, Ended up beating the shit out of her. I blacked out when I did it, so I really don't remember, but the charge was aggravated assault. And I do not remember taking the mug shot, but in the mug shot, and I was a baby, I was 18, I had braces. So in the mug shot, I was smiling.
Zane used to do that.
Like this. I was like this. My mug shot was like this. Like that. And then under it was aggravated assault. So, but yeah, like I said, shout out to my agents. My mama made a phone call, got out within like a few hours. I was like, oh my God, like praise to the Most High, because like I said, Broward is not the place you want to motherfucking end up. But that was another part of my lesson in life and epiphany. One of those being, do not fuck with hoes, especially pick me bitches. And I know it's a cliched thing to say. All the girls is like, I don't fuck with bitches, and that's why I don't fuck with females, and I don't like females. No, I love women, proper women, good women like that. Yo, best kind of people to have in your corner, especially a Black woman, okay? But I really learned how to be discerning when it comes to who I let around, period. And that was probably like my first like real lesson that I learned about that. Because even in high school, I really didn't have friends. Like I went to 12 different schools in less than 12 years of high school. So, I mean, I was very nomadic. I was cool with that. Like I'm cool with that moving around shit. I don't, I was never, and I guess that's now why I feel like I'm so good at detachment, because I learned from an early age, you might gotta pack the fuck up and get the hell on, and that it is what it is. Shit keeps pushing though.
Shout out to the real. So what's next on the music agenda? You was telling me about that when the camera cut off. So I want to get that in before we continue.
Yeah. So as far as music, I'm trying something. Like I said, I don't want to give up an exact day, because I don't want nobody to be like, yo, you said this, because I'm real, like I'm a Virgo. So if it's not perfect, it's not happening. Like, period. I'll make sure everything is paid for and everything, and nobody's time is like wasted, but it's just not happening. So late February, March-ish, I'm gonna do a 3-part series. That's all I can say right now. But I do have a video that's gonna drop in the next couple weeks too. So, and then I have a single that's gonna drop in about a month too. But I have, like I said, a 3-part series project. It's not a mixtape, it's not an album, it's not even an EP. So it's just something different. But I feel like everything I'm doing it how I want to do it. So it's gonna be different. Like, I'm not in no race, I'm not in no competition with anybody else. If anything, like I would like to be able to like inspire one another as far as, artistry and all that shit is concerned. But this year I'm actually also gonna get back into acting as well. I can't say too much about it yet, but I was actually a kid actor, believe it or not. I know, right? I'm a fucking Pandora's box. I was a kid actor. I used to be on this show called House of Pain by Tyler Perry. And then I did some other shit like I did like kind of like the Broadway theater thing, starting a thing with Fantasia and Faith Evans. And like I said, all of that led up to me doing music too. And I think I even fought doing music. People was like, you should do music. And I fought it for forever. But finally, I just felt like, I don't know. I kind of wanted to hear the type of music I was making. So that was really the whole reason why I even started, where I got behind the mic or in the studio. I didn't really know what I was doing. I had like other friends that were like musicians and shit. Like I did music videos, like, you know, being in LA, you know, you meet people, shit like that. But and then being in the film industry. So like I had kind of like my fair share with how the studio game went, so on and so forth. But that first time when you're like in the booth behind that mic and you really kind of don't know, and I'm a freestyler all the way. So
get the fuck out of
here. Yeah. However, I will do pen and a pad in a dark closet, in a semi-lit closet or bathroom real quick. That's that here shit. That's when I'm like, I need to verbalize this correctly. But when I'm in my bag, yeah, I'm freestyling for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does anybody write your rhymes? You don't have nobody write for you?
No. And I mean, I'd like to call myself a producer. I'm not as good as like the Metro Boomins and the Hitmans and the, you know, Timberlands. I ain't, you know, on that level yet, but I feel like that's something I'm kind of nurturing, is production. Cause I'm so fucking involved in the production and the mixing and all of that with everything that goes with my music. So I want to nurture getting into producing as well. Like I said, I'm very good, so I'm not gonna like pop my shit.
You didn't produce none of the songs that's out right now, right?
I've co-produced a lot of my shit. That's what I said. I don't want to like, you know, say, oh yeah, I did that, but definitely like I feel like, all right, on Mercury, the breakdown, I did that. Let's see, a song called No Evil, the breakdown, I did that. What else? Song called Three Style. There's like it's a switch up, I did that. So like what I'll do is like, and I work with like the same people like over and over again, so they know me. So like either I'll like, you know, hit them 3 a.m, like, hey, you know, or we'll like face, you know, chat, whatever, and we'll go back and forth, and I'll send like samples, or I'll do like, you know, I'll do my thing, and then like, excuse me, they're so dope, they go and they make it sound like what it's supposed to sound like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's dope. That's what I said. I love this shit. Like, it's so much fucking fun. Like, and honestly, like, I would love to be able to do it for like other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've written for other people before. Like that's really, really, really how I even found my first studio and all of that. But and how I'm signed to Empire, but that's how I got with Empire too. I've written for people, but I'd like to, like, you know, eventually as time grows and I evolve, I really want to be in this industry, like for real, like even after, you know, a bad bitch, like, you know, because that lasts for time and I'm enjoying it. But even after I'm a bad bitch, I still want to run the team when it comes to like this industry. So I'm like dibbling and dabbling in a few different things. So yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. So let me ask you something. You said you never been in love.
Yeah.
Never been in at all?
I can't say I've ever been in love.
Even for a second?
Mm-mm. And I have 2 children by the same person.
And you never loved them? Like
common law marriage type shit. Like, yeah. Like, no, we were not in love. Well, I can't speak for him, but I was not in love, no. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a mommy. Like, I knew from an early age that I had a lot of love that I was really like nurturing. And in learning those lessons of you can't have certain people around you, and being intuitive about who you chill with and shit gets lonely. You want to be able to, I can't speak for other people, but I wanted to be able to like love somebody unconditionally and know that like I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. That's why I procreated.
So you was in some type of relationship. So how many relationships have you been in? Are you a relationship girl? That's what I'm trying to say.
So yes, and for a long time I was, but I feel like I'm at an evolution right now where I'm just kind of trying something different. I like to like I said, I'm very maternal. So, and I feel like a lot of men, and this isn't a bad thing, but a lot of men like need a maternal influence and energy and frequency in their life. So I'm definitely like a relationship girl, but I think that is kind of why I didn't take the music thing as seriously as I could have until, you know, as of recently. So I've been single.
Speaking of,
I've been single.
So you've been single?
I like it.
All right. So do you like sex?
Love it. What do you mean?
I'm asking. You've never been in love, so I have to ask. So as far as sex, I mean, what do you like in the bedroom? What's your favorite position?
I've loved the fuck about people. I just love people. I do love people.
All right. So what do you think about that Blueface Krishan situation? She's pregnant right now. How do you feel about that?
I think that motherhood is such an amazing gift. I mean, you know, it's sad, but unless you're like really married to a guy, they kind of come and go. You can have babies with different people. I mean, that's not really like, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, if she wants to stay, stay. If she wants to leave and raise her jit and do her thing, then let her do her thing. Either way it goes, motherhood is like in my opinion, one of the best decisions you can make in your life. So congratulations to her. Like she's in for like the most amazing love you'll ever feel ever in life.
Are you attracted to women?
Yeah, women are, well, not all women, because a girl could be beautiful and be hideous. But yeah, I feel like I have appreciation for everyone of all sexes, for sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that goes all spectrums, because, you know, especially in these times, not everybody considers themselves a male or a female. Some people consider themselves in between. Some people consider themselves either one. So when I say people, I have an attraction for people, feminine energy and masculine energy. I appreciate them both, and I appreciate a blend of both.
Mm-hmm. So right now, how do you see your life right now?
I've been working really hard, and I've been doing this mom thing. So I see my life as the projection of my ultimate ideal outcome and goal. And that's to be successful in not only multi areas and arenas, but more importantly, the one I love the most. And that's, you know, entertainment, more specifically music. So wherever that boat takes me, I'm in it. Let's go. I'm having so much fun. I mean, honestly, like, because right now I'm doing dance rehearsals like 3 times a week. So I have like the worst fucking shin splints because I don't do that dancing that y'all see. Although shout out to the girls that are doing it. Like, if you're trying to pop your dance shit, get it, girl, get it. Mm-hmm. But I'm a professional dancer, so it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, so you have appreciation for choreographing. Your videos are well choreographed. I've seen some of that. I was wondering some of that. So,
thank you.
So with the dancing comes the acting. So what do you hope to happen in 2023? To make it a year that is complete for you.
2023. Well, first of all, I'm grateful for everything that happened in 2022, the good and the bad, because I feel like it was a setup for what is to come in 2023 and 2024. Like I said, I have projects with the S dropping in the early part of the year, that being music, that being videos. I just taped a live performance. It was so much fun. So that's gonna come out soon. I would love to work with other artists. Like, I would love to write for I haven't met, I've met a lot of artists, right? Like, I'm friends with a good majority of some of the most popular artists, but one I haven't met yet is Lil Nas X. I feel like I would fuck some shit up for Lil Nas X. So I'm putting that out there. I would love to work on some shit for Lil Nas X, for real. Coming from, cause I feel like I get it. It's like bad but masculine, and I feel like that's kind of me. I know. It's not, but it'll work. I'm manifesting it. But nah, I would love to do work for other artists. And yeah, I'm gonna be a lot on the road. Sorry, I'm 3/4 into the champagne. Pardon me. I'm gonna be on the road a lot, especially this summer. I'm doing the whole festivals thing. I want to announce it. I can't at this exact fucking date, but I am doing a couple festivals, doing some fun stuff this summer. I'm going to different cities. Me and my gal, I have the most beautiful, talented dance crew. I'm so grateful to be blessed with them. It took a long time to find them, but yeah. So bringing them on the road, and yeah, and then some collaborations with some artists too. So
like what artists?
I've never done that before, so that's kind of something.
What artists you want to work with? You said Lil Nas X.
What artists do I want to work with?
Yeah.
Oh, on when I said Lil Nas X, I want to write for him. I want to create some sounds for him. I want to produce. That's what I meant for Lil Nas X. But yeah, I want to do a song with him too. We'll fuck a video up together. But as far as artists that I would want to work with, I really, 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 really love Lil Baby. I would love to do a song with Lil Baby. I feel like me and him kind of we say a whole bunch of shit at one time, and you kind of gotta really listen. It could almost be mumble rap, but it's not mumble rap. I don't think he's mumbling, and I'm not mumbling either. It's just a lot being said, and of course, get that lingo on top of it. So I would love to work with Lil Baby. Let's see who else. I would love to work with Doja Cat. I think she's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I think she's amazing also.
In every respect, in every arena, I think Doja Cat's amazing. I think everything she does is amazing, because I feel like Lil' Kim, of course. I love Lil' Kim. Shout out Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim, of course, was the first one that made it okay to it's not a promiscuity, but to be confident in your sexuality, right? She was the one who kind of set it off. But I like Doja Cat so much because y'all don't know, some of us girls, be liking some weird shit, and she is not afraid to showcase the fact that she likes weird shit, and that her mind works a little different. And I'm like that too. I'm not as vocal about it, but that's just because I'm more in person, I guess. I'm less digital. That's why it took us 100 years to accept this shit. But I love her because she's so fucking honest. Like, listen, fuck all that other bullshit. We all gonna do some fuck shit. We done all did some fuck shit. But at the end of the day, fix it with karma, become one with the universe. It could all be forgiven. Save up your good karma. That's what I'm calling myself doing right now. I'm just building up, saving up, getting good karma, because that's what I'm trying to receive back into the world. So, but yeah, I like to work with Doja Cat, and I know I keep going off. I like Kanye, huh? Sorry about other things at one time. We're both ruled by Mercury. That's why, Mercury is the planet of communication, transportation, fucking technology, all that shit. So yeah, but yeah. Oh, Kanye, what the fuck? Oh my God, go ahead. Yo, he's number one. I'm sorry. That's the number one person I want to work with, Kanye.
So what weird turn-ons do you have since you love Doja Cat?
Ooh, turn-ons. Okay, I definitely think that if we're going off of an animalistic principle, then smile, stature, energy, shoes, and the way that a person handles what would be a considerably difficult situation, compromising, whatever you want to call it. That's what turns me on. I'm analytical. I'm here with the shit.
Mm-hmm.
I be like, for real. Like, if it's some shit going on and a man can handle themselves without like knocking in the, listen, sometimes you gotta fuck some shit up. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta fuck some shit up. But if a man can handle like and fix a situation without anything like going like wacky or anything, oh my God, that's so hard. And that's honestly why I do not fuck with like artists or like entertainers, because we all have tempers, myself fucking included. So like my other half has to be that calm. So like I definitely prefer that calm storm, I guess, if you want to call it. Yeah, I like that. I like that nigga that sit chilling, fly as fuck though, clean, simple though, chilling. But like I said, know how to handle the situation if should anything need to be handled.
What's the craziest thing you ever did then? You ever did some crazy shit? Broke a man's windows? You ever did some shit like that?
I haven't. I don't go through phones and stuff. I can't. You know them surveys where they be like, are you strong enough to go through the phone? Nah, baby, I'm not strong enough to go through the phone. But you know what's crazy? Every time I need to know something about a situation, the shit falls right in my lap. I never have to look for nothing. I told you, like I spent so much of my adolescence like fucked up in a fucked up mental place. They trying to diagnose me with all different types of shit, trying to make me take this pill, that pill since 2nd grade. Okay. My parents been coming up to the school sometimes 3-4 times a week, right? Like I fought so hard to get away from all of that my peace and like my happiness and my joy and my karma is just so important to me that I don't go looking for shit. If it's some shit that I'm supposed to find out, I'm gonna find it out and I'll deal with it accordingly. but I'm not that crazy bitch. I'm a crazy bitch, but I'm not that crazy bitch. It's a different kind of crazy. My crazy is.
Shout out to the real. All right. So we got the music, we got the acting, we got the dating. What's the craziest date you ever been on?
Oof.
We only got a few more minutes.
Dates, huh?
Nah, I said we only got a few, so yeah.
How much minutes we got?
About 5.
Damn, I can't get 10. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Honestly, I've really never been on a crazy date.
I'm talking about it could be funny.
So in this industry, all right, let me tell you. All right, so the way this shit goes, right, in this industry, and this is even before I was doing music. You kind of like, if you're like a well-known girl, or if you're like an it girl, especially like in LA, you get like asked about. You know what I mean? Like you get like, it sounds crazy, but you get kind of like requested. Let's just say I've always been highly requested. So I've never really done the date because I've always known, like, I've always had that decision to be like, okay, so and so want to chit chat, you want to get it going in, or you're good. And it's either one of the two. So I like being able to know kind of already what I'm going into. So it ain't like, oh, we meeting at Buffalo Wild Wings and I don't really know what to expect. It's more like, okay, we're getting on a jet and, you know, yeah.
So that's what it gotta be. It's that type of lifestyle.
That's what it gotta be. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Nah,
you said you were accustomed to certain things.
That's not what it's gotta be. But like, I'll give you an example. Okay, you want to know a first date I've had recently? Yeah, we hopped on a jet, went to Phoenix, and went to a basketball game. Like, I mean, them is the type of dates to go on. I don't know. Like I said, I'm grateful for all of the experiences, you know. But listen. We'll go to the South Side and get some wings. It ain't a thing like that. Like, it's really not. I'm not. But it's good to have a balance. Like, God made this earth on balance. So if we ain't have the moon, we don't have the sun. And what I believe is called Mawalisa, the sun and the moon. You have to have both in order to be in proper balance. If you're not in proper balance, everything's going to be in disarray. So I like to have a proper balance. Some hood, some ratchet shit, some classy, some refined shit. I can eloquently express myself, and I can also pop my motherfucking shit. So it just depends.
All right, so give me one sentence describing yourself. Put it into words if you had to describe yourself. One sentence.
One sentence to describe myself would be grateful, loving. I think I'm a genius, and I'm here to help heal the world. I don't know if I can do it by myself, but I'm here to help heal the world in whatever way I can, however God wants to use me to do so.
Mm-hmm. How do you see the world? One sentence.
We are all one, and we are supposed to be communing as one. It ain't supposed to be politics. It ain't supposed to be black or white. Like, I feel like I'm black and white, so like, hello, you know. But I don't think it was never supposed to be none of that. Now, do I reverence my African ancestry? Absolutely, but that's just a whole different thing in itself. We're not gonna go there. That's a different day. But I believe that the one true living God does not favor anybody about a race or a status or anything like that. I think every journey for everybody is different, but in order to do so, it's a unity thing. That's why people feel lonely. That's why people feel sad. That's why people feel isolated. We were never supposed to not commune. We were always supposed to be communities. And that's just how I feel. I would love to be able to live to a time to see at least the beginning stages of like true unity.
If you could do one thing in this world, if you had the power to do one thing in this world, what would you do?
It would be to some crazy way. Like, I know that there's 9 billion people in this world. I know everybody can't get it, but for some crazy way, every single person to just be able to hear the message that the key to everything is love and gratitude. I wish that every single person could just hear that. And even if they didn't take it immediately, at least it's in their subconscious. And maybe it would come up at the right time.
All right. So tell everybody where to find you. Signing off. Tell everybody where to find you real quick.
You guys can find me in your dreams. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me on Instagram, Sara Savage Official, SaraSavage Official, OFFICIAL. All right. And then it's the same thing, I think, for TikTok, even though I don't really fuck with TikTok. But I keep going viral on TikTok, but I really don't know how to use it. And then you can find me on Twitter at one, like the number one, Sara Savage. So that's one SaraSavage. That's on Twitter. And then I don't know what my fucking YouTube is, but if you just type my damn name into anything you listen to watch fucking music videos, listen to music, it don't matter if you're in Istanbul, if you in Pakistan, if you in Hawaii, or if you're in fucking Canarsie. Type my name into the shit, you gonna find it, period. Shout out to Empire too. Shout out Ghazi. Shout out Empire. Thank you.
That's who you signed to, Empire, right?
Yes.
All right. So how was it working with them? Since you brought it up real quick.
Amazing, honestly. Like, they're so cool. I do what I want. The whole idea is that I'm taking my time and doing what I want to do. And I think that's what every label, that's what's so cool about there being different labels. Not every label is for everybody. You know what I mean? You find a good label, it works. My idea of the whole reason why I went with Empire was because I knew that I wasn't going to have rush dates. I wasn't going to have certain shit that I had to like standards, or I knew that I could do things how I wanted to do and on my own timing, because not only did I want to do this shit, but I want to learn everything, every single thing. I need to learn all of it, everything. So Empire gave me the opportunity to be able to do that, be out there to everybody, like I said, in every place. And, you know, like I got 100% of like all my shit. So, and it was cool too, because Ghazi signed me himself. Like, he brought me in his office and signed me himself. And at the time, I didn't even have social media. The Instagram that I have now, I've had for maybe almost a year now. But I didn't have social media for a long time, so I just wasn't like that. Like,
so who signed you?
I know I'm chit chat now, but yeah, I wasn't really like I said, I wasn't really like an internet person. I'm real in person. Like,
who signed you?
Ghazi.
Oh, Ghazi. All
yeah,
right.
he's the founder of Empire.
All right. Shout out to the real. All right, I need one more thing. I need you to say
he's an awesome guy.
I need you to say shout out to the real, highly dysfunctional.
Hey, and you know, it's shout out to the real, highly dysfunctional. Let's go. Hey.
Thank you. I'm a fan. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm a big fan of yours. You did an excellent job. I misjudged you all the way. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you again. Shout out to the real. I'll see you again, Queen.
Shout out to the real.